So at this stage you probably already know. If you don't, I'm gonna bring you up to speed real quick. The EPA is trying to go after the people that build race cars out of their road-going cars. Now, you might think this is not a problem for me because I don't have a dedicated race car that I made out of a regular old Ford Mustang GT or any other car of your choosing. But that's where you would be wrong. Because with the EPA going after those specific cars, they're actually not going after the owners. What they're gonna try to do is go after the companies that are selling this stuff. And that is where it starts to affect us. So to give you some examples of stuff that is gonna be a big issue, it would be aftermarket superchargers and headers. Everything that has to do with emissions, everything that has to do with tuning, that is going to be completely out the window, because if it's not factory, it shouldn't be on the road. This actually is already making waves, and one of the companies that I know of is already stopping the sale of stuff that is labeled as off-road use, because off-road use should be put on road cars, even though you and I know that that happens. And that's Stainless Works. Stainless Works is a company that builds headers and stuff like that, and the only reason I know about it is because I used to have a Grand Marquis and I wanted to put some headers and exhaust on that, and Stainless Works provided that. However, wasn't meant to be, but still in the back of my head. So you might be thinking those parts are labeled as off-road use, so you shouldn't have them on your car. It's not really a big deal if they go off the shelf so no one can buy them anymore. But here comes the next problem. Every single thing trickles down from motorsports to us. So that includes headers and stuff like that, because motorsports, they usually make that first initial investment in these performance parts, and then the R&D and everything else gets paid for, and we get it down the line. So you already see where this is going. They're gonna go after the companies, they're gonna make it illegal to sell these parts, and at that stage we can't buy those parts anymore either. So the big problem that I personally have with this is that most people don't modify their cars. They take them from A to B, they go to and from work, and that's it. We car enthusiasts are a very small fraction of all the cars out there. And of those car enthusiasts, there's even a smaller fraction that puts their cars on the track dedicated. So why are you going after this, which then affects this? I don't know. And it affects this off, well, infinity, off the screen over there. It just doesn't make any sense. Why do you do these small things? In the end, this entire thing, even though they're going after this small fraction, is going to affect all of us. Everyone that's watching this is a car enthusiast. So if you like to modify your cars, and even if you can't modify your cars and you want to modify your cars later on, which is where I am at, my plans are just too big for my wallet, and I know that there's plenty of other people out there like myself. We're gonna get screwed out of that in the future if this is allowed to go on. Is there something we can do? Yes. The link to the RPM Act is in the description. You can read what is about to happen and what you can do to put your name behind a movement that is going to make sure that our hobby stays alive. So in the end, I think we need to make sure that we band together, that we go stand behind this RPM Act, to make sure that our interests are protected, that we, a very small fraction of the entirety of all the cars on the road here in the United States, can continue to do what we do. Can we do stuff better? Absolutely. I think that we should all be mindful what we put on our cars. So when the EPA comes a knocking, they can't say, you're driving without catalytic converters, you're part of this problem. We can say, hey, look, there's cats under this car. We got inspection, we got everything else going on. If superchargers 50 state compliant, or probably 49 because, you know, California. We're good to go. So with that, please check out that link. Make sure that you put your name behind it, because that's the best thing you can do right now to make sure that we can keep doing what we're doing, that we can keep our car shows great. And also, well, from my perspective, the car review is great, because most of the cars that I drive, they're pretty hot.
My God, I have never experienced anything like this. I heard it, and it is good. It's practically unbeatable, guys.
So with this, you guys take care, and I'll see you on the flip side.